Hello everyone, greetings from Health Pals Arogya Mitra. We are meeting after a short gap. I hope you've been enjoying all the other videos which have been put up. We are fast approaching the festive season and all of us would love to eat sweets for Diwali. I don't want to spoil your Diwali fun, but just a word of caution before Diwali. So before we head into this wonderful season of festivities, we thought we'd make a video about a very important test done in diabetes, which is HbA1c or glycosylated hemoglobin test. Now you might be wondering why hemoglobin test is done in diabetes. You have heard about hemoglobin for anemias. Well, hemoglobin is a protein, and when your blood sugars are high, there is a tendency for the sugar to go and get attached to a variety of proteins in your body. One of them is hemoglobin, and this type of hemoglobin, which has an attached glucose to it, is called glycosylated hemoglobin. Why do we need to test this? Because it's telling us about how well you have controlled your blood sugar for the past 2 to 3 months. So blood sugar levels may vary every day, and they may not be a very good indicator of control of blood sugar, but glycosylated hemoglobin definitely is. When and why should you get your glycosylated hemoglobin tested? You should definitely get a HbA1c test once every 3 months, and especially in the early part of your disease, when you've recently been diagnosed with diabetes. This is a very good test which is used by your doctors to calibrate the dose. So the reason being that, like I said before, blood sugars may vary, but glycosylated hemoglobin gives you a very good idea. The logic behind that is hemoglobin is present in red blood cells. Red blood cells survive for something like 90 days. So this glycosylated part of it is giving you an average of the past 3 months of blood sugar control. And the reason for testing glycosylated hemoglobin is that you should pick up if there is a tendency for long-standing diabetics to go towards some complications, because the same process which creates glycosylated hemoglobin also causes majority of the complications in diabetes. So when you go for a blood sugar test, your diabetologist would ideally advise you to go fasting and then 2 hours after your lunch, so that what we call as PP blood sugar. But for just a glycosylated hemoglobin test, there is no need for fasting. It can be done anytime during the day, and it correlates very well with blood sugar control, not daily blood sugar levels, but with blood sugar control. Now, what is the reference range for this test? It is expressed as a percentage. So it is the percentage of actual hemoglobin which is attached to glucose. That is what it means. Ideally, non-diabetic people are the ones who would be less than even 5 or 5.5 glycosylated hemoglobin percent. And between 5 to 7, I would consider it to be quite a good control of diabetes if you're already diabetic. Beyond 7, it needs to be addressed. You need to control your blood sugars better. These values, let me be very frank, they do go on changing very often. The American Diabetes Association or even our Indian diabetologists would be the best people to advise you as what should be your target glycosylated hemoglobin, and you must strive very hard to reach that target, because that is the single most important factor which is going to determine your quality of life further, how well you control your blood sugar. Okay, so you get back a result which says that, you've been to the lab and it says that your glycosylated hemoglobin is somewhere around between 5.7 to say 6.5. But your blood sugars are still on that particular day at least normal. So are you a diabetic or not? So you must remember there is a concept called pre-diabetes, and this is an indicator that you have a tendency towards going in for hyperglycemia or high blood sugar levels, and this is the time that you will have to change your lifestyle. So you will have to definitely put more effort into preventing a further deterioration of blood sugar levels. So this is a warning signal, and this pre-diabetic phase can last for years together. So, but we don't want that to progress to a diabetic state. So I would advise that if you do get a marginally raised glycosylated hemoglobin, do take it seriously and try and modify your lifestyle so that you bring back your blood sugars and glycohemoglobin to a good non-diabetic level. In addition to the medication that your diabetologist is prescribing, regular visits to your doctor, good monitoring of blood glucose and glycosylated hemoglobin, the exercise regimen or the activity levels which you are going to maintain. Obviously, there is also a very important role for diet. So be very mindful of your portion sizes. Eat regularly every 3 to 5 hours. Eat small sized, similar sized portions at meals and at snacks. Plan your meals ahead of time. And the carbohydrate rich food which you are going to take every day, make sure it's spread out throughout the day. The more you choose fresh foods as against processed foods, so good intake of whole grains, fruits, vegetables, nuts and legumes, this is going to help you a lot. Increase the amount of healthy proteins which are there in your diet. Keep a balance of the fat, because along with diabetes you do not want any dyslipidemias or abnormal lipid profiles coming up. And whenever required, if you feel that you are not achieving your target weight, definitely do take help of a proper trained dietitian. So friends, that was in short about this important diagnostic investigation called glycosylated hemoglobin. If you have any questions, feel free to ask them. We will be very happy to answer your doubts. In the meantime, be very mindful of the festive season coming up. I wish you all a very, very happy Diwali and a prosperous new year. Thank you very much.